you're awesome. I'm so proud of you for keeping up the lifestyle. And for my leads, the people that I've never even interacted with, I've sent them emails before, but they never either responded or opened them. I don't know. But I just said simply, hi, my name is Dana. I'm your free coach. I'd love to get to know you and your goals and how I can help you achieve your goals. Reach out to me through my Facebook page or email. So I gave him my personal email. And then I just said,
I think to me, like if I were, that's pretty, I don't know how I would respond, but I think if I got a handwritten note from a person that I've never met before that's telling me they want to be my free coach, I think I would be more likely to check this out than I would be if I got an email, because I could easily, you could easily just think that somebody just copy and pasted a blanket email into like 50 or 60, customers, and there was nothing like personal about it. But the fact that you handwritten them like that, like it would probably take me multiple days to go through all of my leads because it's pretty lengthy. But the fact that you did that means a lot, and something I should probably totally do too. Just spend some evenings just writing.
Well, yeah, just get it in certain chunks and do it that way. Like I still haven't gotten everyone, but I specifically targeted people that I've recently talked to just because I want them to know that I'm thinking of them. And I agree with you. Like when I get mail, if I see something handwritten on the envelope, I'm like, oh, what's this? This has to be somebody I know, or, something like it intrigues me, like handwriting. So that's what
I wonder Lindsay, if you haven't gotten any cards, Lindsay always adds like confetti, which is kind of a mess. Like I know now that when I get a card from Lindsay, there's going to be confetti in it. But that's also kind of fun too, like to get the card, because I feel like that's one extra like step that she's taken to just like put a little bit of confetti in the card and then like seals it up. And but I think I went to Michael's and I have my stack of multicolored index cards because I do plan on doing the same thing.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know you can buy them in bulk like that.
Yes, I think I spent, these were like $20, but it's business. So I went in there and I got all business stuff. I got these little stickers. I was looking for stamps. I don't know if you can see them, but they say like dream big or never give up. Some of the stuff I can't use, like
maybe I finally found something to do with my scrapbook stuff.
Like you plus me. I can't use that because that's kind of silly. But I was looking for something that I could put because I had bought. So you guys saw this is like, can you guys see it? I don't know how that.
Those are really cute.
But I got these cute boxes, but I didn't measure it. It doesn't match. So I have to go back. I may actually just send this in for Diane and not get the box right away because I want to get it in the mail because I've got like 4 boxes of prize stuff that needs to get in the mail. But maybe I can run by Michael's really quick and put it in there. So I kind of got all of this, and then I just did it all together. It was all Beachbody stuff, and I checked out and saved the receipt. Okay, so we're going to get started because we have like a lot to talk about. And I want to just say, like, I apologize, Brenda, especially, and Kristen, for not having a meeting the last 2 weeks. So it kind of just, I should have announced it. Both Dana and I were both on like spring break, even though Dana doesn't really have spring break, but she was on spring break. And I was on spring break with my kids and my family. And then we both went on this last minute trip to Cancun that wasn't planned for. Actually, I remember speaking with you guys 3 weeks ago, and I remember talking a little bit about the trip and how it would be awesome if we could go, and I was on the wait list, and I'm not going to get a chance to go. And then I seriously got off the call with you guys, checked my email for something else. This was April 1st, and I had an email from Beachbody saying I got off the wait list. And I actually, when I called to confirm, I was like, this would be really cool, you guys, if you sent out an April Fool's joke, because I really wanted to go on this trip. They're like, no, were you know, so anyway, so Dan and I had an opportunity to go, and you guys getting an opportunity to go to one of these events, whether it's Summit, whether it's a Super Saturday, you're going to feel just this amount of energy that is contagious, and you get to talk to other coaches. And I don't know how to explain it, but you are working in a company with people who want to help you. These are coaches that are all doing the exact same thing, and nobody is like turning their nose up to people or not talking to so-and-so. Everybody wants to help, especially everybody on our team. Like, I don't know, I mean, but you know, Dana and I ran into people that weren't on our team. Dana's got a good friend that lives in Richmond Hill that's a coach from another team. And just the camaraderie and the wanting to help and the wanting to learn and sharing advice is awesome. I mean, even as a teacher, I felt like sometimes when I was working in a school system teaching classes, there were teachers who didn't want to share their tips and their secrets with me. They didn't want to share what unit they were teaching. Like, there was that piece of like, this is mine and I'm competitive and I don't want to share this. It's not there. Like, I didn't feel it. I'm sure it exists within Beachbody, but it's probably pretty minimal. And right now we're in a good spot with Team Courage where they just are wanting us to succeed. And so Dana and I, we got to go, and one of the first session we did was the general session, and they bring out well, Carl Deichler comes out, but everybody else is there from corporate. And they really just talk about like where Beachbody is going. And some of the things that stood out for me was how young Beachbody really is as a company. It's only been really active for about 8 years now. And in the last just a handful of years, they've seen a tremendous amount of growth. And really from just this past year, the growth has grown a lot more. But if you think about it, we have about 3 million people. I want to say that was what I wrote down. Like, there's like 3 million people in the United States, Canada, Mexico, wherever. Like, we're a lot of people. There's only 290,000 Beachbody coaches, which sounds like a lot, but that's everybody who is signed up as a coach. So that's coaches and discount coaches combined. And we're still so little. Like, we're only been doing this for 8 years. And I mean, when Carl was talking, you know, he was just like, we're still trying to figure this thing out. We could stop everything we're doing right now and we could fix all of these customer service problems, but then we would have to shut down Beachbody for like 6 months. He's like, we can't shut it down. So we're trying to fix all these problems while this plane is still flying. So we're trying to make all of these fixes, and we know that there are things that have to be changed, and we are working on it. And he's just like, you need to stay with us because we are going big and we're going to go far. Some of the things that he talked about is that when they first came up with this whole Beachbody program, he was just like, what can we do to make our home as gratifying as a gym? That was their goal. That is their focus. How can we make the home as gratifying as a gym? And I think that they're really on board. Like, they are working in that direction. And it's just, they are just constantly like trying to figure out how can they make more different programs, what's going to work differently, and every year they're going to be promoting new things. We've got Size coming out in July. Autumn said when we had a quick little like 10-minute session with her right after the last workout on Saturday, because she was the last workout. She's like, so I can just kind of hold the stage if I want because I'm the last workout. So you can ask me any questions you want. Of course, somebody was like, so can you tell me what the next program is you're working on? He's like, I can't answer that question, but I can legally tell you there's always something in the works. And that's what's awesome about Beachbody is that we're not just stuck with just like a handful of programs. We're growing. There's going to be new workouts. There's new nutritional supplements that are coming out on the market. There's just, they want to continue to grow. And they've said that, some of the things that we need to remember is that when we're looking at ourselves as coaches and we look at them as a company, we can't compare our chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. So when you are thinking about yourself as a coach, when we think of Beachbody as a business, we're still babies and we're still baby coaches. And we can't look at some of the other coaches that have been doing this longer and say, why am I not there? We're going to get there. And we've got an amazing team and amazing mentors who want to see us get there. And so the other thing that, Carl, that spoke to me, that Carl really talked about was that this business is better than healthcare, because healthcare, their job is to fix people. That's all they want to do, is they want to fix people once they get sick. We're working to keep people from getting sick. We want to get them healthy and we want to keep them healthy. And so we offer a lot more than somebody going to the doctor, and we can promote that. We can promote fun, fitness, nutrition, rewards, and the list goes on. It's a comprehensive plan. It's not just take some medication and that's going to get you better. We're changing people's lives, and we're not focusing on dominating an industry. We want to change people's lives across the board. And, we have one of the other things that he talked about, this is something you can share with new people as they're coming on. He wants us, if we have a gift, and if you have a gift of leadership, a gift of sharing, a gift of helping people, he wants us to deploy that gift. He wants us to use it. God gave it to us. We need to use it, and we need to be powerful with it. And if, say, I'm just throwing out a number here. Say you have this goal with Beachbody of earning $100,000. And you reach your $100,000. But then he's like, don't stop there. Don't just be like, I hit my goal. He's like, continue to do what God gave you and to use those abilities. And if you earn an extra $50,000, find a charity to give it to if you don't need that extra $100,000, that extra money. He's like, there's so much more that can be done with your income than earning an income. It can be, you can do so much good with it. And my grammar is awful. But we are helping others in many ways. So we're helping them with their fitness and their wellness, their financial freedom, and we also are helping people with both. So we've got people who come on as coaches who need everything. Like they want fitness, wellness, and financial freedom. So, I mean, the biggest thing that we are in an amazing company. It's not just a one-sided thing. And I had some other notes and I can't seem to find them about, kind of like, it was like, I swear I wrote them down, but I don't know where they are. And I can't even remember what they were to talk about them. But I felt like it was a really key piece. But if I think about it, then I'll remember it. I'll talk about it. But it had something to do with the business and our structure and what we do. But all I can, it's just that this experience, like if you can get to something like this, so Super Saturday is Saturday. And it's so funny, when Summer shared her video, I sat down right next to her and we were talking about Super Saturday, and she confided in me before this video was made, when we were at Summit, that we had just spent 5 days away from our families, that, this was kind of like our Super Saturday. And she wasn't even going to go to Super Saturday. And when she shared that video about how her and Chad had talked about it and how like, we need to go, I was like, you know what? I need to go. And so I got on the phone with Chris, who ran out of town. He's coming back late tonight. I was just like, you can go hang out in Raleigh with the boys and go to a couple museums while I'm at Super Saturday, but I need to be at Super Saturday. I will be there. I need to be there for my team. I need to go. And Dana went to one that was small, and it's different when I've gone to a couple small ones, or when you're kind of like the only coach you're like not with the team that was hosting it, but there is still something you can take out of it. You're still going to have the energy is still going to be there. If you can find a big one, so when you're scrolling through and you have options in your area that are within an hour or two of a drive, or if there's someone like Summer said she drove 12 hours to Ohio to go to the one with Tommy Migrant and Tracy Morrow, who are two big-time coaches, who at the time weren't really big-time coaches, but they were working towards it. and she got to go listen to them. So you can look and see if there's any names that you recognize from the National Wake Up Call. That's probably going to be a big one, and you're going to get a little bit more of the energy out of it. But even if you just go to a local one, you're still going to get something. And if there isn't one, we can talk about how we can host it ourselves. So anyways, so that was Super Saturday and Summit, or
what is Super Saturday?
What, excuse me?
Can you tell me exactly what is Super Saturday?
So Super Saturday is a quarterly meeting. It's like based on, they're all over the country. So in every area, there's going to be a Super Saturday, and corporate sends over a PowerPoint presentation that has all the announcements and everything that's going to basically be taking place over the next quarter. Sometimes they'll do a workout, like right after I went to Super Saturday, right after Summit when PIO was released, and PIO was part of the workout. Like, so we all got to do PIO together, and a lot of these people, maybe they didn't make it to Summit, so they hadn't had a chance to experience that. So we worked out together. They recognize, like they'll have you stand up and say, okay, who are your emeralds, who are your rubies, who are your diamonds. You kind of get some recognition, and then you get the feedback from, they usually do some stories. There's always like a testimonial, or somebody shares their story, their transformation story. So that's always good to hear. And then there's the PowerPoint presentation that corporate sends out. So every single person who goes to Super Saturday watches the same exact presentation. And so any announcements and stuff that are going to be promoted get there. And it's a great way to meet some other people in your area that are also coaches.
I was one of the I know another coach here, and she wanted me to go, but we were going to drive like 4 hours to go, and there's no way I could with leaving my kids, without my husband being here. So, but I was thinking about trying in July if I can find a local one to my family maybe or something.
Yeah, like look around, like near where your family lives, right? And then and I brought Matthew
with my parents or something, but
I brought Matthew to the one in July. I think he was like 4 months old or so, 3 months old or 4 months old. I did bring him, and it was fine. People do bring their kids sometimes. I mean, is it the best environment? No, but you do what you got to do. But I understand. I would totally it's this weekend, and you may or may not, but in the future, put it on your radar, find it on the date, and as it gets closer, more places pop up. So if you were to look right now for July, you might not see a ton of opportunities. But then as it gets closer, people sign up to host.
And how hard is it to host? Because she asked me if I would be interested in hosting one here.
You just have to find a location and have something you want to have some sort of screen so that you can show the presentation. Because I think they email it to you. So you want to be able to get a laptop with a screen to show the presentation. And there is probably a training document, and I can look for this in the back office on how to host a Super Saturday.
Yeah, I think probably. Okay.
Brooke Sands, she's not really a member of our team. She's part of the Empower Empire. She's one of Ali Kimmy's coaches, so she's one of my sister coaches. She is back in Germany and is hosting it this weekend for her first time ever. So we could always pick her brain and get some information from her. So that's a good question, though. All right, I'm going to segue over to Dana, and I'm going to let Dana give some of her thoughts about Cancun and some other stuff that we're going to talk about.
Okay. Well, first of all, when I've heard a million different people say you need to go to an event, you have to find a way to do it and make it work. And I was just oh yeah, that it'll be fun, but I'm I don't need to go or something. I just have this, I can always watch it on YouTube or something like that. But Amanda is so right about going there and just feeling the energy off of everyone else around you. And like, I mean, I got to like hug Summer Tucker. That was awesome for me. Like, and I was just like starstruck for a little while and I couldn't talk. But then I realized like, she is just a normal person. Like, she really is just a normal person who had the drive to make this business work for her. And that energy, seriously, like, I told her, I was like, when I hug you, I want to like feel some of that energy and like some of it to rub off on me. And I seriously did. And you know, Kimberly Wilcox, that's her last name, I think. She did a call on Summer's team call, and I remember taking like tons of notes on her, but I kept in the back of my mind, I had this negative voice that kept saying, oh, you'll never be her. Like, you'll never, meaning I don't want to be her, but I'll never be at that level. I'll never make it that far. You know, like, I'm not going to be like a 6-figure earner. Like, that's never going to, like, I just kept telling myself that. But when I just sat down and we're having dinner with these people and we're having regular conversations in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm sitting with these people. I could be in the same position next year or 2 years from now. And so my mindset really started to change, and I just became really excited about where I can take this business, and my mindset just changed to a more positive one. Like, I can make this happen. And so it was just, yeah, the energy is seriously contagious, and I know you've heard it a million times to go to an event, but it will change you. It will change your mindset and make you, I don't know, just give you a passion and energy to do that. So, so some of my takeaways from Cancun was, more than anything, that was the energy, and then also just going to the seminars, hearing Carl Daikeler speak in front of you is kind of cool. Amanda and I joked around about Carl Daikeler being like God, and we're like all his disciples, and like, but I mean, that's seriously what we feel like, because he spreads the message of health and fitness, and we are like little health and fitness disciples. Like, we just want to change people's lives for the better. And that's what he's trying to do. And I really feel confident in his ability just to keep continuing growing Beachbody. And he's not going to just say, oh, I've made my X amount goal, like he said, and I'm just going to walk away and still continue to make bank. But I really think that he wants to improve the company for us and for us to have a better opportunity to build our businesses. I can really feel that off of him. And just the fact that these big name people were in the crowd as well. Like, when we went to the reception dinner, Tony Horton was just hanging out, and Amanda's like, that's Tony Horton. I'm like, I'm going up there and getting a picture. You know, it's like, and he was just like, hey, come on up, you know, just really cool, like laid back. It was seriously lots of fun. And I wish I could go to Summit. Like, every part of me wants to go to Summit, but I do have a very important event. It's my best friend's bridal shower. I'm in the wedding. Like, I can't just be like, so I'm just going to do this work thing. So if I wasn't going to that, I would be there. I'd be at Summit for sure. I had price objections about Summit. Like, I had the discussion with Kristen. I'm like, you know, like, and I didn't see the value in it, and now I do. And I hope you guys feel that from me now. Like, I would seriously go if I could. There would be no price objection, because you will get that money back basically, and what you earn. I'm in the new coach training right now, and somebody posted, I think it was Whitney, saying that she went to Summit. She made it happen. She went to Summit. She was like, I really didn't want to spend the $500 to go, but she's like, I made that back the very next month and then some. She's like, I went from only making $100 a year. She's like, her first year she made $100 to making over $500 in 1 month. So, yeah, can't emphasize enough just the power of these events. So Amanda and I were talking about restructuring our challenge groups, and then also kind of focusing on new coach training. So like I said, I'm actually going through, again, the new coach training, because I felt like when I first went through it, I'm a slow learner. Like, I'm a slow to warm kind of person. Like, so if I get all this information bombarded at me and I'm like, I haven't even dipped my toe into the water yet, it doesn't absorb. So I'm redoing this training. And I really know now that I have some background knowledge and I'm going to absorb it a lot more. So I encourage you guys to do that as well. I know Kristen just went through it, and that gave me a lot of encouragement as well, because she said she got a lot out of it. So I'm going to go through the new coach training. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a welcome email myself, and I'm going to send it to myself. I'm going to send it to my mom, my dad, or whoever, just so they can kind of look at it from an objective point of view and see how that makes them feel when they receive it. And I was just saying in the beginning of this call that I sent out personal handwritten cards, because I know my love language, I would appreciate somebody sending me like a little handwritten card. So I'm also going to do the 7-day quick start program. Like, I've already done that, but I'm just going to go through all the steps so that I'm aware when I get a new coach that this is what they need to do. So this is what I need. I've had to have gone through the process and kind of remembered it myself. So it's always great to have a refresher and just go through it. Summer Tucker has a website. It's called Everything with Heart, and it's www.everythingwithheart.com. And you can literally go to all the coaching tools, team training, all that stuff. And you can send somebody, your prospects, the coaching at a glance, and they can actually go through the videos right there. They don't have to go into a Facebook group. The website is awesome. So I really encourage you guys to kind of go through this yourself and really just take it in, and then think about how you want to present this to somebody else. And then, are we going to talk about it now, or we can talk about it? Do we have? I don't know how much time we have. I can't see, but because I kind of plowed through that bit.
As far as I did upload a few documents that you guys can kind of glance at. There's how to train your new coaches, how to. There was a challenge, coaching a new challenge group. I think there was a challenger questionnaire. So really the how to we have to be able to duplicate everything. So the only way this business is going to work is if there's a system set in place that is easily duplicated. Summer Tucker has a system in place that is duplicatable. All right, I am not going to blame anybody, but I really wasn't presented with an easily duplicated system. I kind of just have, I've kind of winged it, right? And look where we are. And that's my fault, because I have not provided you with a duplicated system that you can say, I have a new coach, this is what you need to do. Summer has it, and I can use it because that's why it's there. She's like, I want you to be successful. I want your team to be successful. Use my system. So the first thing is to come up with that welcome email. You have to have a welcome email, and then you send them the welcome email, and then you go step by step on how to train your new coach. And we're going to stop right there, and we'll talk about this next week. But I want you to get into our page, and I want you to look at those documents and kind of see what I have and click on the links. You can sign up for the 7-day coach email thing that's on the link. Go through it yourself, see what they're going to ask, so you know what your new coach is going to do. And let's just stop there. And if you want to create a welcome email, send it to us. Send it to your mom, send it to me, send it to Dana, send it to Kristen, send it back and forth to each other. We don't have to have a different one. We don't all have to have a different, we can just have one email. It doesn't have to be a totally separate message. And I'll submit the one that I did. I know I sent it to Dana to look over, but I can just upload it and you guys can take a look at it and see if that, and I kind of meshed a few different ones because I didn't want something that was going to be 5 pages long, because that's overwhelming. I am not going to read a 5-page welcome letter, which is what I had before with a couple of different things. There's great information in there, but that's something I want to send next. I need to at least get you started, but I can't send you a 5-page welcome letter because your head's going to be spinning. So next step, we are moving on. We have a 7-day Shakeology challenge that starts on Monday. And we're rolling right into our May challenge group, which is going to start the first Monday, which is the 4th. Dana and I really feel that we need to step away from just giving a ton of information, like in our 12-day challenge when we're talking about your why, rewards, all of those messages we can send privately to our challengers. They're probably going to open up more to us if we talk to them one-on-one. But in our challenge group, we can share our photos of us working out. We can share our shake photos. We can share recipes. We can do Water Tag Wednesday and Flexi Friday and all that other fun stuff. We can play games. Let's keep it light and fun because that is going to keep people engaged. And then we'll send the other stuff like via just personal messages. Now, one thing that I was presented in our Push to the Top group last month was a buy-in challenge. I don't know how to explain it, but basically everybody can pay if they want $5 in. And a friend of mine did this last month, or she's finishing it up this month, and it was they were $5 a person, and they had a $150 pot. And they're all submitting their before and after pictures and their transformation story and how this challenge has helped them inside and out. And she's taking all of that information and she's sharing it with like a sister coach who's not on her immediate team, but is somebody who can be outside of our challengers, outside of our initial coaches, and say, hey, could you read through these transformation stories and tell me which one you think is the best? So they don't, and there's no names. So like even like the person's name is kind of taken off, or they're just labeled 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that if the person has maybe come across them on Facebook, they don't know them. Like it's just very like objective, I guess. So that's an idea. I think that could be a lot of fun. And we just have to let our challengers know that it's not a mandatory requirement. If they do not want to participate, they do not have to. And so it's not a requirement. We'll do mini challenges. And I think like the bingo card one, I'm not getting a lot of response from that. I don't know if I need to sit down and figure out who played bingo and mark it off myself for them, and then figure out who the winner was, because nobody responded with what they put down as far as bingo goes. So I don't know how we could revamp that idea. But the other challenges seem to go well so far. And I don't think we have a trivia question for today, so I may just pull something out because Melissa's not feeling it. But is anything else on that, Dana? Oh, and then Shakeology. We have to push the importance of Shakeology in our Shakeology challenges. So when we share a post about your shake, share why that shake has helped you for that day. Like, why is this so important? What's in here? Like, I posted something about a superfood in one. When I picked one superfood, and I just like I put it on like my shake picture, and then I just talked a little bit about the superfood and what it does a few weeks ago. And that seemed to get some good response on my personal page. So that's something that we can do inside our challenges. But next week we have our Shakeology challenge, and we have to talk about why it's so important to keep drinking Shakeology, that it's not a quick fix. It's not I'm going to drink this, lose my 15 pounds, and I'm not drinking it anymore. It is the key to keeping our nutrient levels high and not being deficient in our nutrients. And if we were, and we want loyal long-term customers, not I'm going to do this for a month and then I'm not doing it anymore. So we have to show value in this. And just one quick thing that came up for an objection that Dana and I both really thought was kind of an aha, was when you go to the grocery store, do you ever buy 30 days worth of meals at one time when you walk in?
For $130.
Yeah, for $130. Do you walk in and buy an entire month's worth of groceries or a month's meals, like all your dinners, for $130? No. And I know I'm buying for my family, so my price is probably skewed a little bit. But at most, we only buy 4 to 5 meals at a time. And we're spending significantly more than $130. even though it's for, you know, a family. But still, like, that's something to, when people object from that 100, oh, it's 130, that's so expensive. You're like, well, you know, that's 30 meals. Like, that's 30 meals that you're purchasing, and it's done, said and done. Like, you don't have to worry about anything else. There's no prep. There's nothing. So that's stuff that we have to reiterate in our long-term 30-day challenges and our short-term challenges. And it needs to be on like constantly brought up. So that's probably the biggest.
And especially those who are, you know, they work full time, they're busy, like Kristen, she works full time, she's got 2 kids. Like, that's one meal you do not have to think about. Like, it's done. Like, it's easy. Like, I struggle with meal planning, like, ugh. But I know that I have my Shakeology, like, that's one thing that I don't have to plan in my meal plan. So, and then if you talk to people about, they talked about the equation, the 80-20 equation. I mean, we talk about it in our challenge groups, but why would you only invest in 20% of your health and fitness, like through buying just a program? So if somebody is like, oh, I just want to do the PIO or, you know, 21 Day Fix, but why would you only invest in that small amount of your health? And even people eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables may not get enough vitamins and nutrients that are optimal for health when you can get that in Shakeology. So there, I mean, I've got like tons of pages of notes. I should just type it up and share it from that seminar that we went to, because it really was a great way to overcome a lot of different objections. So I'll have to type that up for you guys.
So I think the only other thing that we were going to have you guys take a look at is in our challenge groups, what we'd like to kind of do like a audit sort of our challenge groups and see which posts got the most responses. So kind of going through and seeing, you know, what do we need to show more of? What do people like in our challenge groups? I definitely think that there is a competitive piece. People like the competition, but what else do they like? What else do they want?
I think another thing we should encourage as far as points is, I know some of them were like this, but like doing a lot of points for somebody, encouraging somebody else, like writing onto somebody else's post. So, because I feel there's like such a disconnect. There's Amanda's people, there's my people, you know, it's like, I don't feel connected to the other people within there as much. And I feel like if there was a point system, or if there was a way to encourage more conversation, that would be a good thing to have as well.
Okay, we can look at that for even, well, for next week, or we could do it for the following month. We need to brainstorm just what we're going to do for that next month. If we want to do the buy-in plus another one on top of it. So we've kind of like got 2 different challenges going on. So we've got the big prize, which is the grand prize, transformation prize. And then maybe we do some little things where they're free. Like we just keep a tally mark, or we do some challenges like I've done in the past.
Now the transformation ones, we should have them sign a waiver saying that we can share.
Oh, yeah.
That's great for our coaching business, is to be able to share those Transformation Tuesdays. And they can opt out. I mean, yes. If they want to share, great. If they don't, that's respected as well. But if we can get more stories to share, then that would be a good thing to have.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We're about done with time. We will meet next Wednesday, same time, same channel. And we're going to try and have more focused agenda type meeting.
Well, tomorrow's Maxwell's call, so we'll probably have a lot of notes on that.
That's true. Yes. So maybe next week we'll review what we talked about from Maxwell. So, all right, you guys, if you have any questions, post them in the group so we can answer them. Okay? Good night.